Great, thanks, Victor. So I just want to introduce myself. I'm Daisy. I'm a Curo customer. I'm not employed by Curo, and I'm just here to give you a bit of an oversight into how I'm involved, the kind of things that we look at and we talk about in the oversight group, and also to kind of encourage you to get involved and give your feedback as well. So I'm the chair of the oversight group. So that's the main group that speaks to the board, it speaks to different members of the exec, it speaks to different teams within Curo, and it speaks to customers about how to improve Curo services, things that aren't going very well. All those performance measures that Vic showed, we get to see them every 2 months, so they're actively being reviewed. Those customer complaints, we see the numbers, we see the active complaints that are opened, and we're always challenging Curo to try and get those numbers down, the numbers of repairs, the numbers of complaints. And what we're giving is we're giving the customer voice to those teams. So all those stats that you see, that's the stuff that we get to see every 2 months. So they're not just reviewed annually. So there's many different ways to get involved in resident engagement. So you might have been sent surveys when you've had works done on your property. You might have been asked to give feedback online or through emails or using voice box. So there's also other things such as other customer groups. So I know some of you have groups that you attend and you give feedback at those. Those are all really great ways of getting involved. So what I'm here to speak to you today about is my role as chair of the oversight group. So what we do is we meet every 2 months. We also write an annual report that's read by the board at Curo. And we're also the group that commission the scrutiny activities. So we heard before about Luke, and his team, the repairs team, have just gone through a recent scrutiny activity for a number of weeks. They actually extended it because there was so much stuff to discuss. In a scrutiny activity, they get presented with data about how that repairs service in that instance is performing. They get to interview team members. They get to give their feedback on how repairs have gone for each of their customers. And they get to challenge and actively change things that are going on for that team. So those scrutiny activities come back to the oversight group, and we get to kind of look at the things that have been suggested and check them and see how long it takes for those activities to be done and for them to be changed. So we get to review those every year as well. So some of the highlights from this year, it's been really interesting to see how Curo's responded to things such as the cost of living crisis. And one of the things that we're really encouraged in the oversight group is that there's a support fund available for those customers that are really in the most challenging circumstances. So that support fund has dealt with things such as paying off those people's arrears for energy bills, supporting customers that move into new properties and they completely don't have things like carpets or even curtains in those properties. So that's something that we're really happy that's happened with this year. One of the things that we continually challenge Curo on when we have our oversight meetings is communication. So we feel that the communication with customers is lacking. It doesn't happen as frequently and as often as we'd like, and we want it to be clearer. So things like when you have a repair booked, the time someone's going to attend, if there's ever been any delay, and if any works need to be done after that meeting, after that visit, when that's going to happen. So that we're always challenging Curo to be more open and to have more active communication with their residents. So one of the things that's challenging for us as a group is making sure that we're not just representing our own individual circumstances, that we're representing a group of customers. And that's why it's so important to have a diverse range of customers that are involved in resident engagement. So even if you might think that you're just one voice, but you're actually kind of representing a whole range of customers, and it's really important that we have those customers involved in all aspects of resident engagement. So the other scrutiny activities that have taken place this year are empty homes and complaints, and both of those are really challenging, but the groups have told us, the teams in Curo have told us that this stuff's really important, and that actively, when they've gone through one of those scrutiny activities, they really feel challenged and they feel it's great to directly have that customer feedback. So I've spoken quite a lot, but what we really want to encourage you is to get involved. So that's even just things like responding to those surveys when you've had those surveys sent about works done to your property. If you're able to feel like you can give more of your opinions and a little bit more of your time, Tom and the rest of the resident engagement group, they would love to have your feedback and to tell you about the different ways you can get involved. And there's a stand out there which you can visit. All those ways of getting involved that are online, and they're just on that slide there. So thanks very much for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.